Do you know how difficult it is for me to choose my favorite summer treks out of the 22 we have? But I actually sat down with it and I made a list of 6 of my favorite treks. Now these 6 may not be the most popular treks, but I believe if trekkers do these treks, they will do some of the best treks of our country. My first favorite trek is the Surya Top. Now this trek I have done twice in different season, in different directions, in different years. One at the very early years of Indiahikes and one much later. And I have always come back from this trek thinking that why does not the world talk more about it? Because the Surya Top is right next to a Daira Bugyal trek. And as you know, Daira Bugyal is perhaps one of the most popular treks that we have. Yet next to it is this golden trek where none of the trekkers are present. And that's what attracts me. Yet, if you ask me if I compare Surya Top with Daira, I would put Surya Top at least 2 notches above Daira in terms of the views and the feeling that you get of this expansive meadows that you get to see from top. Absolutely mesmerizing, because right in front is Bandarpoonch and to your right is the Gangotri ranges, from Mount Srikhand to Draupadi Ka Danda to Jonli, all of them, and much closer. And with all, one meadows after the other rolling under you as you walk along this ridge. And finally the summit climb that we have to Surya Top, where we get such a commanding view of this entire mountain ranges, the Garhwal mountain ranges if you have to call it. It's a moderate trek, and I believe it's one of the best treks the Indian Himalayas have to offer, especially those who are starting out on trekking. My next favorite shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. It's the Rupin Pass. It's a trek that Indiahikes put on the map of Indian trekking. And ever since we did that way back in 2009, 2010 and until now, it's one of India's favorite high altitude treks. Now Rupin Pass, of course, it's favorite because of this astounding variety and surprises that you get to see on this trek. And if I may say so, you will not see it on any other trek in our country. I have not seen it at least. The kind of terrain that we come across, they're all surprises. And no wonder, trekkers love this trek. The whole magnitude of seeing the Rupin waterfall, climbing on top of it, and then, that vast walk towards the base of the Rupin gully, and then, getting on the gully and getting on top of the pass. These are adventures which define trekking. Look, I'm not always trying to humor the trekker who wants trekking to be easy. Sometimes you want trekking to be adventure-filled, and Rupin Pass is that trek which will give you adventure, it will give you sights and sceneries that you have never seen in your life, and it will give you a sense of contentment which will stay with you for years and years and years, as it has for me. So Rupin Pass, out and out, has to be there in my best summer list, so here it is. My next favorite is Kedartal. Now summer is the only season where you can do high altitude trekking in our country. You can't really do it in other seasons. Of course, September, October is another season, but summer is perhaps the best season to do high altitude trekking. When I'm talking about high altitude trekking, I'm talking about treks which go above 15,000, 16,000 feet. Now, in those altitudes, the sights that you see is very different from the 12,000 or 12,500 treks that we have, like a Kedartal or a Devriyatal or a Kuari Pass. There you're in the alpine region. The mountain peaks are not towering around you, they are on you. And on the Kedartal, when you are at Kedartal, the vast lake that you see, the alpine lake, you have perhaps maybe about 10 prominent peaks right jutting out from the lake. And you are standing at the base. That sight human beings have not seen. And The sheer adventure of doing it from Gangotri to Kedartal and back is one of the best adventures anyone can have. Again, a very, very underrated trek. Seeing those treks and knowing that this is the base of the major mountaineering expeditions that we have in our country is the reason why you must do this trek. Those mountain sceneries you will not get to see anywhere else, on any other trek, I guarantee you on that. And that too so quickly by just 3 days of climbing to the lake. So again, summer is meant for high adventures, and if you are fit, then you must absolutely take on Kedartal trek. It doesn't take anything more than good fitness. It doesn't require any technical skills. So you must do this trek, because this trek is again one of those treks which you will not find crowd on it. You will not find anything else disturbing you except this rawness of the greatest Indian mountain sceneries that can give you. So that's why it's on my top list of the top treks to do in the summer. The fourth on my list is again must not come as any surprise to anyone. It is the Buran Ghati. Again, it's a trek that Indiahikes introduced to Indian trekking. And my goodness, the kind of trek it is, I have not seen a single trekker in my life, amongst the thousands who have done this trek, who have told me that I didn't like this trek. Not a single one. And there's a reason for it. If there is one trek in our country which is absolutely perfect in every way, then it is Buran Ghati. There's not a single blemish in that trek. From the mountain villages that you get to see, the people that you have, the culture that you have, the exquisite forests, meadows, the pass crossing, getting off on the other side, the entire journey to Buran Ghati and of the trek, when you finish the trek, there's not a moment where you'll say, okay, I am going to get bored, or I'm not going to like it, or this is too, I've seen this before. The best portions of the greatest treks of our country is all stitched together in the Buran Ghati trek. It has to be in the top trek of anyone doing it in our country, if there is a list. So that's why it's on my list as well. The next on my list is the Phulara Ridge. I don't know what is wrong with trekkers. They are crowding the Harkidun trail and they're crowding the Kedarkanta trek. In the middle of these two trails is the Phulara Ridge, which has the best of Kedarkanta and the best of Harkidun. And trekkers are not on this trek. It baffles me. And I'm glad it baffles me, because those who get to do this trek, they do it in the pristine beauty of this trek. It has the greatest of forest, beautiful clearings which Kedarkanta is known for, the famous Phulara Ridge walk, again meadows in which you can get off. You get all of them in one beautiful trek, the Phulara Ridge. I think our Indian trekkers need to stop following the herd and do these treks which will stay with them forever in their life. So Phulara Ridge, number 5 on my list, but it must be there because trekkers need to wake up to a great trek of a country. Finally, I come to my 6th trek. It's a trek in Himachal Pradesh, and it's the Beas Kund. Now, Beas Kund is a trek to the source of the river Beas, but that's not the real attraction. The real attraction is this valley walk that you do in the cauldron of 2 of the greatest mountain ranges of our country, the Pir Panjal and the Dhaulada ranges. Again, it's a trek not many trekkers trod on. It surprises me because right next to it you have the Hamta Pass, you have the Brigu Lake, maddening crowd over there. And here you have this isolated trek which, frankly speaking, is absolutely at par with these 2 treks, and not, in fact, very little trekkers on them. And I want trekkers to take advantage of it because I know how crowded these treks can become in a few years' time, and do this one of the most wonderful treks to do in our country. Very easy on the legs, not too difficult, so ideal for those who are starting out on trekking. But you'll get to see mountain sceneries which you have not experienced before. And the landscape keeps changing and it's beautiful all along. So that's why it's on my list of great summer treks to do. And if you notice this list, these are I'm not trying to take on the popular treks. But these treks, because I have done them, I know how good they are. I know how satisfying it is when you do these treks. And somehow I always like trekkers when they pick on these treks to do rather than what their friends or the social media is recommending them to do. These are the treks which will give you great sense of fulfillment when you do them. So that's why these are my top 6 treks to do this summer. It was very difficult for me to put it down from the 22 that you have given me, but I hope I've done justice to the best summer treks you can do this year.